Yeah, what's up, chumps? It's your boy Lanooski back here with the first vlog in a while. I originally had some try-hard audio right here of me like freestyling and commenting on the fact that I can't rap, including by referring to myself as not a rapist. Rapist being a missaying of rapper, but it sounds like another thing that's really, really bad. It's pretty edgy, it's pretty subversive. I'm pretty proud of it. Problem was the audio was shit because I forgot that the iPhone audio is going to be too busy picking up the of the coffee. And yeah, we do have the obligatory coffee shot, but I rounded it out by getting a pretty tasteful shot with my iPad of the coffee going into the cup. So now that this horseradish is out of the way, let's get on with the show. We're gonna shoot this one on the iPad today. The only problem is if I use the case that has the fold-out keyboard, you get a bunch of that. So I'm gonna pull an indie life hack sort of meme. Got this half-full bottle of Bullet. Papa Noosk has still got it. All right, let's do that. Let's do those remaining techie setup steps that I like to ritualize. I'm really not. That's fucking unfortunate, man. First on the list, the audio. I don't know how many audio files we have out there that are watching, but one little detail that kind of made February extra cool to me was using the Shure 565 SD, a reproduction of a vintage mic that was used in such iconic performances as Woodstock. This is to say that Roger Daltrey used one of these in the various clips of Woodstock that I used in my videos there, so it's been cool to be using this as a little nod to that which I like so much. I guess I should just set it up rather than talking about it. I don't know why I'm holding it like this, it's not even plugged in. I know you can see me, now here's a surprise. This fucking dude has served me well throughout the years. Short films, podcast editing, basically all of my voiceovers. What's really great about these is they have 2 XLR ports, as well as a built-in mic. I actually used to use this as a mic in old vlogs and such. You could probably get these for pretty cheap, especially used. Techie talk with Lanooski. All right, and there's a card in there still. Awesome. Purk Flurmp. We got future Dylan doing some post-processing on the audio, and here we go. It's a pretty solid sounding mic. You will find reviews out there that give you the various pros and cons of this thing when compared to more popular mics, primarily the SM58, which is kind of the gold standard of live performance, but that wasn't around during Woodstock, so inferior. Even plosive-wise, it's pretty good. I wasn't a big fan of how I said I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Free. In the last video, it sounded like pre, which is just all kinds of inappropriate. So when I'm doing voiceovers where there's no, like, you know, screen presence, I use this little Deuterino to black out the P's. I've had Deuterinos like this on most of my mics when I've used them, including this old fella who's now part of my mic clamp setup. Shit. I can't really turn it. I guess I can't. Nah. I have multiple cameras. What am I doing? Here, hold this. No, don't do that. Thank you, though. You did a good. You tried your best. So back when I used to use a Blue Yeti, my partner actually hooked me up with this mic stand with an adapter that could hold the Yeti. But since I don't really use the Yeti anymore because I've moved on to other mics since then, as you can see, this is actually great for when I'm using Discord. I got it wired into my Mac Mini here, and then I'm able to answer phone calls, do Discord calls, hell, if I wanted to stream. Is that in my future? It's all here, set up and ready to go. If I have any major hurdles that I need to get over, it's the fact that my room's a goddamn mess. I'm banking heavily off the fact that you can only see my bed. Just got all kinds of shit I need to pick up. The last time I did a vlog in here, the room was relatively clean because it was freshly rearranged, freshly refurnished. I'm a messy boy. I hyperfixate on whatever it is that I'm working on. And then pretty much everything else in my life just kind of falls to the wayside. It's indicative of needing to work on time management
and just follow through. Skills that I gradually built up not too long ago. And then I don't know if you guys heard, but there's this little bug going around that kind of changed the rules of everything for a little bit. COVID, you motherfucker. I'm finally getting vaccinated soon. Hopefully. Maybe. This week, hopefully. It's easier now to get it done than it has been, because like most clinics and even a shit ton of public spaces like mall parking lots and theme parks. There's a Six Flags around here. When I tell people that, they're like, oh my god, Dylan, Nooski, Noosk, Papa Noosk, Uncle, Drunkle Noosk. All that at once every time. You should go get vaccinated at the Six Flags and then go hang out with Bugs Bunny and ride the coaster. Go do that. As if they're fucking open. Anyway, what else? Oh, I forgot. A lot of tiny things may have changed or come and gone and then come back in the format of the Lanooski vlog, but one thing that'll never change is me upgrading a basic ass lens with a bit of the wide angle. This could backfire, but we'll see. That's not bad, except you kids didn't have it as hard as we did back in the day. Back in the day, you could only pick one Pokemon to throw out on the battlefield, and they all looked like they were made in a goddamn Etch-a-Sketch. Y'all ain't suffered. Y'all don't know what adversity means. I don't even know what adversity means. Wikipedia wasn't around at the time. Adversity sounded like the cholera. Or like hepatitis A through Z. Sorry about that, no one wants to see that. Yeah, so messy. I bought this decal so that I could kind of plan my day. I got it about 2 weeks ago thinking, oh, this will fix my sleep cycle and my work productivity. Neither of those things has really happened yet, but at the very least I have written days where I will designate certain parts of the day to various tasks. So this will be a morning where I edit, and then in the evenings I write. Editing will primarily take place here, but if I was to, get some writing done of a script or an article or any other bullshit, I could just take this around with me and type it, and listen to music, and not feel like I have to spend all my time in here. So let me tell you, this room is so very cozy. Bed's got a Tempur-Pedic cover on it. I've spent too much time in here. I take walks. I go places. It's just, 2019 was so good. Forever forward. We're not going to focus on the good old days when they were like 2 years ago. What are you, fucking 80? All right, I'm all warmed up. I'm on my second coffee. I've done everything that usually is necessary for me to get comfortable enough in front of the camera when I haven't done it in a long time. It's like stage fright, but much more personal and embarrassing. But I have transcended this barrier of unease, and I am back in my element. I wanted to talk about specific things. Let me find my notepad. An old gift card package with notes on it. The state of the Noosk. Quarantine and lights. Check. People, friends, and... So speaking of quarantine, I need to hang out with people again. I've got a dozen or so people that would be down to hang at any dang old time. If I'm hesitant in any regard, it's one, because vaccine. I should probably do my part before I just go gallivanting around with people I haven't seen in eons. And I'm not very social right now. I have things that I've been working on, and I'm better, and I got worse because of this. So I'm back to that old habit of, man, I have so many people that I could hang out with, but if I'm hanging out with these people, then I'm not hanging out with these people and I feel bad. Wait a minute. There's a logical solution here. Just don't hang out with anybody. Everybody wins. But on top of that, there were a bunch of weddings that were supposed to happen last year that are now happening this year. And again, I'm such a disorganized mess. They all feel like they're happening at the same time tomorrow. They're not. I got months to get through this shit. I got little baby tasks that I can accomplish leading up to these very crucial, important interpersonal events. But on the inside, it's Armageddon, and I've got 5 minutes to prepare. Brain stuff. I will say that one thing that's helping me deal with that is making shit, creating, practicing music, talking about movies and films, consuming movies and films. Oh, there goes my front light. There goes my key. Come back, Google Docs. Great backup light, Google Docs, regardless of what machine you're blasting it off of. That white screen just shows all the necessary facial details of your face, as opposed to the necessary facial details of your ass. That's better. What else? Money. Work's happening this summer. At some point. Maybe. Work didn't happen last year because, well, concerts, surprisingly, bank heavily off of there not being a deadly virus going around. So now that it's going away, for the time being, there's going to be some people going out to see some music. The thing is, though, a lot of performers and producers and managers and agents are still on the fence as to exactly when and sometimes if these bands are going to be making it out to my neck of the woods to perform. So the calendar is kind of up in the air, which would be fine if I weren't, trying to plan friend stuff, video stuff, life stuff. It's like Schrodinger's work-related obstacle. It's either going to be there or it's not going to be there, and that's actually somehow worse than if it were just there. Because things that are there are tangible and have influence, whereas things that are not there could be there and potentially have influence or potentially not. So when people ask you, hey, you want to go on vacation with us? Or, hey, are you going to be able to make this bachelor weekend with the wedding party you're in? I'm in 2, by the way. Best man for one of them. Yeah, that can be a bit of a bump in the road, couldn't it? Where's the remote? Found it. I think it's the darker colors that get wobbly, so we're just gonna leave it on a nice, cool... brighter? With the ass. Purple? All the way bright. It's pretty bisexual, this color. Red? Ew. No. Yellow. I don't... Regular ass light color? God. Blue? No. Green. I didn't think it would be so hard to find colors that don't threaten the very fabric of time and space in your video footage. I've also got natural light coming out through the window. What the fuck was I talking about? Coffee. Coffee does this to me. But I would much rather have this and coffee. Because no coffee and not this usually amounts to... amount to anything. And that's just not very fun. So yeah, work coming back means money and no more benefits. If there was one silver lining in my very privileged white boy but not status as an American citizen, is that I technically didn't have to work, which obviously ideal if you want to go do what few things you could during quarantine if you had no work. Order food, stimulate the economy, make some impulse buys, buy some art from friends who do art, get some editing done. That's all great. It's not technically money I've earned. Because I live in America, every second that I'm not earning something of my own volition is just a Desert Eagle round to the nads of my sense of self-worth. So work is good. It's just now it's going to be enough work to cancel out eligibility for essentially being paid to live, something that I deeply, deeply think everyone has a right to do, and not just lazy dipshits who only got good at one thing. And yet at the same time, it's not enough money to maybe get the fuck out of here by the end of this year. I don't know, like, it's we were in a hell year last year. We're in a not hell year this year that is nonetheless a transitional year back into normalcy. This is good. This is good session, prof. It all started when I was 3 and got attacked by an alligator. It had no teeth, and even though it did swallow me, I was able to crawl back out like Moby Dick. Did that happen to Oh, that was Pinocchio. There's a new Pinocchio movie out. It's supposed to be really good. It's got Roberto Benigni in it, who starred in and directed a prior version of Pinocchio. I like Roberto Benigni. He's really funny. He made Life is Beautiful, which is, in my opinion, a pretty damn good movie about the Holocaust. I don't like this bit anymore. So, like, yeah, this is part update, part practice of just not thinking too hard when I'm trying to make a thing. I'm proud of my video essays. I'm proud of my big projects where I try to psychoanalyze creators that I like, but not everything has to, not everything has to be like so high stakes and take forever to make. This in all likelihood is going to take a few days to make versus the February finale, which took like 3 months of off and on work to finish. I gotta hit quality and quantity if I'm gonna do the YouTube thing, so this will be good. State of the Noosk will be a good vessel through which to do that. Plus the editing for this, God, the editing for this is going to be far simpler. No full motion tweening and having to look up fucking stock footage. This is a back to basics type of meme where I'm constantly trying to come up with things to say that can be stitched together into an enjoyable, flowy piece of content. And any shortcomings of me trying to find some things to say result in me getting really uncomfortable and panicking and saying something that's But yeah, I want to keep making YouTube stuff because I'm gaining traction. It's getting funner. There's more people watching it. The feedback's really good. I've gotten into this habit of arguing with more people online, which again is another consequence of quarantine. But it's forcing me to assess how I come to conclusions about things that I think, whether it's art related or world related. And that's a useful skill because contrary to what the rules of the internet and troll culture will tell you, not everything needs to be fucking blood sports. You can have disagreements and have a dialogue and, maybe get a little something in return for the effort. Like both sides of it, you do, they do. Some people will just tell you suck or completely miss the point of a work that you were trying to get at. One sec. Ooh, that reminds me. I've had many a dumb comment on my JonTron video since it's come out, but there was a first one that just like, I don't know, it summed it up pretty well for me as to like what exactly I would be arguing with people who disagreed with the premise of the video. Where are you at, bitch? Where are you at, little bitch boy? Oh no, Lanooski has become everything he hates. He's a bully now. No. Maybe a little bit, yeah. Before I do get to it though, I will say that there were a lot of comments that were very constructive. There are a couple of flaws in that video that I will go out of my way to correct in future stuff. The Ricky Gervais thing didn't need to go on that long, and structurally, it was kind of all over the place. I was kind of writing it as I was making it in some spots, which is... It can give you some interesting results, honestly. It's just not what you should do ever. But I still do it, like, pretty often when I'm making stuff. Okay, here we... I found you. Destiny is a joke who throws around half-true statistics. Sargon is an idiot. This moron in this podcast is a joke as well. This video is a bunch of clips of idiots on the right and the left and little sense in between.
You stupid. Everybody's so stupid. Everybody's so stupid. I don't like nobody so stupid. Thank you very much.
JonTron said some dumb stuff and conflated several issues. I don't think he is a white nationalist at all. He just parroted points he doesn't seem
to have. Who the fuck is this? Stop calling me.
This premise of this vid is dumb. How did he wrong you? How do you need to forgive him for anything? It's like that one comment, even though it getting thrown at me pretty early on. It just condensed a few different perspectives that I've gotten since into like one nice little bite-sized package, wherein every source of information that I use in the video is invalid because they're idiots and throw around half-true statistics. Like, what does that even mean? Like, if the whole premise for your critique is, oh, this isn't substantiated, then you should probably substantiate it, yeah? Maybe? I don't know. And yeah, no shit, JonTron said some dumb shit. That's the whole center element of the video itself. And whether or not you think he's a white nationalist, it doesn't really matter to me. What matters is what he said, which happens to be said by a lot of white nationalists. A really common rebuttal that I see, like not just on here, just like in conversation with people in the community, is that John not knowing what he was talking about kind of absolves him from having said it. You can go into a debate and be out of your depth talking about stuff that you're not particularly versed in, but anyone who knows the history leading up to that debate was that John decided to start being political, which ordinarily would be like, oh, cringe, I can't believe he's doing this. But because it was against like woke skalds and SJWs at the time, like all the people who are usually like, I don't like politics in my video games, were like, you know what, it's good that John's saying some dissenting things just so not all the opinions are the same in the environment.
I know it's not that much of a ground-shattering thing to come out against SJWs these days because, I mean, it's kind of in vogue as well. Or the tides are turning that way, but I don't know. I just got so sick of it.
Like, people are really choosy as to what they consider to be political and worth criticizing. And the criticism of white supremacy is somehow more offensive to these people than the things that were said.
If we're not arguing with facts, we're arguing with feelings. And feelings did a little thing called World War II and won and all the rest of the wars.
John drew first blood, and then he fell on his fucking face. As much as I like the guy, as much as I'm willing to look past this old piece of history to enjoy his comedy, what he said was dumb. Why are you saying that to me as if that's like an argument? He said some dumb shit and didn't know what he was talking about. Oh, all right. You sure showed me, buddy.
What I care about is facts, reason, and evidence. So if you come at me and you say something that's baseless, that's what pisses me off.
Wealthy blacks also commit more crime than poor whites. That's a fact.
Wait, what? With the court system disproportionately, even when controlling for socioeconomic factors, sentences black people typically for harsher sentences compared to white people, even when you control for the crimes. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
You're saying, I mean, this is just ridiculous. That they're going to sentence, I don't subscribe to that.
There was no good faith put into this comment. He went straight in with the intent of dunking on me when he read the title, in all likelihood. What do you need to forgive him for? I mean, do you not know how YouTube works? Every other video you see on anyone is just like jacked up to this hyper sensationalized, oh my god, they fucked up, blurry background, complimentary lighting, staffo thumbnail. I'm not so entitled to an apology from anyone for saying anything online. As an individual, as a public figure, presenting your brand and presenting yourself are necessary things to do. That's why you get triggered every time someone like says something about race relations or wealth inequality. Like, what the JonTron video and the JonTron controversy highlights is what a good chunk of the internet considers to be political and not political. I Hate Everything used to do a comment comeback type thing. Maybe that could be a segment in State of the Noosk. Gives me more content and it allows me to have more tonal control over my responses to things. Oh, Vladimir Lenin also told me to please STFU, which valid. This is JonTron. It's good. It's good. Even that's good because it gives me an idea of what I'm up against when I present certain premises and topics and arguments. I'll close this out by talking about what I also would like to do with my time on this earth, because as fun as that is in the short term, as gratifying as it is to put something out there, get feedback, and then give feedback to the feedback, that's only fulfilling for so long before I want to just like make something that exists on its own terms. Art. I'm talking about art. Honest to God art. Music, doodling, filmmaking. I miss filmmaking. I miss my friends that I would make films with. I actually showed a film from 2016 called KickBack, which, despite all of its flaws on the audio departments, I'm still probably most proud of that out of like a good majority of things that I've made. So I made it with people who were awesome. It was so much fun, like making a real movie, and out of everything else we've made, it like feels the most real, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But even then, like the other stuff we've made for like 48-hour film challenges, like those are a lot of fun to watch back as well. We got more technically proficient with each passing one. I would focus more on individual departments of production. Like, for example, with KickBack, there were technically 2 directors. There's me and my buddy Geoff Stone. Geoff Stone's the fucking goat. Geoff Stone's going to take over the world one day. I'm 100% certain of it. I love you, buddy. But for following projects, he was the fucking guy. He was the director, and I would be editing and then sometimes making music for the film, like original music. And it was so fun. It's so much fun. I've been in the dark this whole time. Sorry. Hi, Google Docs. I'm me again. We Angel Heaven. I need to reconnect with that part of myself that is interested in making things outside of YouTube and criticism. Those 2 things are very important to me, don't get me wrong. I think I have the most direct connection with that as far as what I make individually. But the fucking juice and goo that gives me a zest for life is definitely filmmaking and art and music. As fucky and messy as this coming year is going to be, I have the opportunities and the platform and the connections to make some really cool shit and to get it seen by a good chunk of people. So I need to focus on that. So in commemoration of that, at the bottom of my channel page is going to be a playlist of all of the short films that I've done with said fuckers. Feel free to check it out. Oh yeah, there was a point to mentioning KickBack in particular. I showed it to a fresh batch of friendos that I've been pretty chummy with online on Discord groups and stuff. And just like the fact that we as a group had so much fun watching it, even though none of them had any emotional investment in it, like they didn't make it with me. Like seeing the genuine laughs and the actual like, oh shit, that was cool moments that we got out of it. Like that's I miss that so goddamn much. Yeah, there's gonna be a playlist. If you're interested in any of that, feel free to go check it out and drop some comments and likes to support my homie. He's the most intense go-getter and the most like devoted to the craft that I've met in the last like few years. We're partners in crime. We're brothers in the war against the void of the nothing. We're fucking artists. Go watch it. So concludes the pilot episode. I guess, no, the real pilot was the one that I actually called State of the Noosk. This is episode 2 of the Noosk, the stoot of the Noosk, the toot of the Noosk. I've tooted this entire goddamn video. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings and my bullshit. I'm gonna edit this and maybe get it out at the end of this week. Feel free to subscribe if this did anything for you. I will see you guys again soon. I'm pretty sure the next upload is going to be a proper video essay. Guest edited by a fellow editor peer of mine. I have viewers in my audience who are very fixated on my dangly French fry-like fingers, so all of my little Italianisms are half on purpose and half I have to move in order to articulate certain things. Itchy. God, all that cocaine. Peace. I'm going nowhere. This is just a theatrical gesture. I'm standing right out of frame, drinking coffee. There's nothing else left. Click on a link. Click it.